down and unique and proprietary to a dosage unique to that patient, and when stacked with things like hormone optimization and IGF, we can burn that fat off and maintain lean muscle mass. And we're quantifying it because we have a DEXA at the clinic. So anybody who comes in, we run them through a DEXA now. We know their lean muscle mass, their body fat, and the goal is to preserve muscle. Because I would argue more important than getting the body fat off, and this is the pivot that I've tried to get Jelly Roll to and other folks, the fat's going to come off. Let's focus on building muscle. If we can build muscle and help build leg strength and help put muscle on your frame, that is going to increase your metabolic burn rate. That is going to put you in a better position for long-term health. Don't make it all about the scale.
Right.
Make it about your body composition and how can we transition that composition to optimize lean muscle, minimize visceral and subcutaneous fat. But we don't want to give up a pound of muscle.
Right.
It's a motherfucker to put that muscle back on. You don't want to lose that muscle.
Yeah, even with hormone optimization, it's a constant battle. You have to constantly be working.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, you're going to get weak. And that this is not a good thing. It's not virtuous to be weak. And this is a problem with, we were talking about masculinity earlier. Yeah, hyper awful masculinity is Vikings. Right?
Yeah.
They show up in a boat, they kill everybody. Like that. Yeah,
Shane
you don't want
Gillis's
that.
bit on Vikings.
Oh, the gay Vikings.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
Well, that's what
that
they
would
were,
be
too.
terrifying.
Yeah, that's what they were too. Yeah, but I think everyone was gay back then. I remember, when you read about the Spartans, like, hey, was this unusual? Is everybody gay? And then you're like, Socrates, oh, he was gay too. What the fuck, was everybody gay? I think it was different back then. I think the concept of gay and straight is a fairly new one. I think back then everybody just fucked everybody.
I'm sure it was wild
just
times.
Like chimps do.
It was wild time.
Chimps, like bonobos. You ever watch the bonobos? They have one rule: the mom won't fuck the son. That's it. Everybody's fucking. Everybody else is fucking everybody.
No, it was chimpanzees in that. Was that those weren't bonobos?
No.
What was that chimp? Yeah, that was wild.
Crazy. Yeah. Bonobos there are weird hippie like cousins.
I've heard you've been talking about Jesse's deal with the tridactyls.
Insane.
And then I think we talked about it. Have you watched the one on Homo ledi? That bipedal primate that buried the dead deep in caves. Like, we don't know shit. We know nothing about our history.
We're learning, but it's a scattered. It's not like, oh, we found the logbook. We know what happened at every step of the way. No, we're finding like little pieces of evidence from a burnt down building. Yeah. Like, what is this? Yeah. Oh, this looks like. I think this is a lighter.
Well, I know you had Gary Nolan on too. I haven't heard it yet, but I'm curious, where's your head at now? Because I know you've gone back, forth.
Something's going on.
Yeah.
But whatever this thing is going on, first of all, from a material science perspective, which is what Gary was here for. Mm-hmm. Well, Gary was here to talk about his cancer research, first of all, which was fascinating. And then amazing stuff, like very interesting. Then we started talking about how this was sort of an accidental introduction. Someone brought to him a piece of some kind of a craft, supposedly, that crashed, and said, could you analyze this and find out what this is?
Someone in the CIA?
Probably. I don't know. One of them, a piece was brought to the Art Bell show. They said that was from a crash from like the 1940s. But this piece... It had a direct chain of evidence, so people knew where it was from a crash from the 1960s in Brazil. It was made out of almost pure silica, but the magnesium, the isotope ratios in the magnesium had to be from a place that was experiencing what is the equivalent of a neutron bomb going off every 2 minutes for 900 years.
What the hell, dude?
Right. Like, this is not, like, this would be hyper difficult to make today. Not saying it's impossible. This is what he's saying. Like, the odds of someone making that in 1950.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? And then there's this alloy that they found where there's layers at, like, an atomic level, that this has been, like, a 3D printed alloy with, like, levels of these metals that don't occur organically. And this is from 1970. Like, this isn't possible today.
Yeah.
With human beings in 2025. No one's making that shit. There's not a fact. You would know. Someone would have heard about it, unless there's some blacklisted military operation deep in the Nevada mountains that no one knows about that's doing some crazy, super funded shit that they lie to Congress about. Okay, maybe. But in 1970, were you doing that? Did you have that alloy in 1970 that we can't make today? That seems unlikely.
Yeah.
So something's going on.
Well, and your podcast with Representative Luna, I mean, I know she's on the political side, but I was listening to that, and I'm like, to have a congresswoman saying these things, or then even Tulsi came out.
She was talking about
Tulsi.
intradimensional beings, and I was like, what are you saying? You know why I reached out to her to have her on the podcast? Because she made a tweet about the description of angels, what angels look like. She's like,
I didn't even see it.
And I was like, whoa. I go, did you tweet this? And she goes, yeah. And I was like, well, you didn't want to talk to me about this? And we never even talked about it. We never even got into the conversation.
Funny.
But we got into aliens. And we got into, which, I think that good and evil are real things. I think they're real things. And I think there's this very big struggle, both on a micro and a macro scale. I think internally there's a battle of good and evil. When you want to do something good, but you can get away with doing something bad, the right thing to do is to do the good thing. And then you feel better because of it. This is like a weird, it's not like it's impossible for you to go into evil. Mm-hmm. If the situation was that you were, in another time, in another part of the world, in a horrific war, and you had to raid a village because everyone else is raiding the village, and you have to kill everybody because everybody else is killing everybody. That's a part of us. There's a real struggle between figuring that out. I wonder if that exists with some other beings from somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And this is where you get into biblical depictions of gods and angels and demons. And you go, well, what are we really talking about? If these people were trying to write something down to represent a real event that took place, we're looking at it in the framework of a society that believes in aliens because we've experienced space travel. We know how to fly in planes. We know how to fly to the stars, and we know where this goes. We know where this goes. This goes to a better place where you get really good at it when then you come visit us, right? So we know that. But back then, they didn't know that.
Yeah.
They didn't know anybody could fucking fly, right? So if they're experiencing angels who literally fly, and devils, and these fucking things that they find, like the Brazilian one from Virginia smells like sulfur.
Yeah.
Is that weird that's what demons
those are
supposedly
like wild
smell?
Stories. All those stories. And then
Demons
you go like back
supposed
in
to be
even
smell like
biblical
sulfur.
scripture, like the book of Enoch, which I know isn't like technically.
I'm reading that right now. I've got it on audiobook right now. Listening to it every day. It's fucking bananas.
It's
the Watchers.
crazy. Yeah.
The Watchers who came
And
down
they
from the sky
they
to
gave
mate with
knowledge
female.
to Enoch, took him into space, and gave him knowledge of agriculture and architecture, and you're like, what?
Also sorcery.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, which is probably technology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be to people in that era.
100%. Dude, I think we're engineered.
Yeah.
I think we are in a stage of our society where the growth is experiencing this confrontation with our nature. Like the growth of intelligence, the growth of awareness is experiencing this battle with the fact that wars are still going on. I think this is why, like, there's a lot of shock in some circles about the public's backlash against what's happening in Gaza. Like, almost like they can't understand it. Mm-hmm. Like, you can understand, how is this possible that someone's upset? You're fucking telling me this is the only way in 2025 human beings can behave? Where you can bomb women and children, and any opposition to that is anti-Semitic. That's not flying today. You can't do that today because this is so we're evolving, but we're not there yet. We're not at a place where we have no war. We're not at a place where there's no more murder. We're not at a place where you don't have to send the National Guard into Chicago because there's 54 fucking shootings in a weekend. So if I was an alien civilization, I would wait.
Yeah.
I would do what we're doing right now.
I almost view it as a test. I've said this. I said this recently. I don't remember who else, but in my mind, I look at it as kind of like what Graham Hancock says. What if we reached a level of knowledge and sophistication, but there's a reset button? And I know the cataclysmic events and all those things, and we know that happens. And we know it happens, I think, every 70,000 years. There's that. It's historically
going to happen.